Hey everybody, this is a clip from the latest episode of the Randi Rhodes Show. If you want the full episode, you can watch live on Free Speech TV, Dish Channel 9415, DirecTV 348.
Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
Reports that the Russian cyber attacks are accompanied by more traditional spying techniques so that it's a complementary effort. I want to get your assessment, having read this report, of the totality of it and what the Russians are up to.
Yeah, make no mistake, this is a full-on attack on our 2020 elections. This should surprise no one. We were told this was going to happen, and it's playing out. And let me expand on something the congressman said about the Russia intention of sowing discord and sending a message. The message here is that they can do this at will, and they don't expect any pushback or sanctions because of it. Why am I saying that? They use the same technique, the same signature as they did in 2016. If they wanted to pretend to be the Iranians or the North Koreans, or as the president says, a 400-pound guy sitting in his bed, they could have easily done that. But instead, they used the same Russian signature, easily attributed to the GRU, and that's telling us we're in charge, you're not.
That's it. The Russians are going to choose your president again. And everybody knows that. Everybody knows. And now they are openly hacking, looking for dirt on Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. I mean, this is amazing. This is just amazing. And you have a president who actually plays into these conspiracy theories that Russia promotes, like, Russia didn't hack. Ukraine did the hacking. And CrowdStrike is a Ukrainian company, and Ukraine has the server. And he sends Rudy Giuliani out over there to tell them to say that live on television in an interview with Fareed Zakaria on CNN, or else they don't get their $491 million to defend themselves against Russia. And then all of a sudden we have this escalation because Idiot Boy pulled us out of the JCPOA, one of the best deals that the world has ever made with regard to Iran, because Iran was in compliance. They were not enriching uranium. They had no path to a nuclear weapon. You didn't see the tit for tat. You didn't see the roadside bombs anymore. You didn't see, escalation on the part of the Iranians against our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. Things were kind of okay, considering we're talking about Iran. Things were kind of okay. And what does Idiot Boy do? He pulls us out of the JCPOA. And as soon as he pulls us out of this, agreement that Russia and China were all good with, the whole freaking world, the EU and our NATO allies are, going to the United Nations, and they're invoking a piece of the JCPOA for dispute resolution. And they're trying to beg Iran to stay in the JCPOA with them as partners. But the United States, oh no, we're putting sanctions, screaming, that this, maximum pressure will bring them to the table. The maximum pressure has produced this crazy retaliation by Iran, this crazy retaliation by us, this back and forth, this unbelievable escalation, closer to war with Iran than we've been in 40 years. Because of this nudnik, because of this moron, this mental midget. Oh my God. And everybody knows he has no foreign policy. Everybody knows it's just impulse and chaos and confusion.
3 months ago, Donald Trump suddenly withdrew American forces from northern Syria that were in part thwarting Iran's efforts to dominate that country. His rationale was clear.
Going into the Middle East is one of the worst decisions ever made in the history of our country. It's like quicksand.
Well, last week he dramatically escalated America's military engagement in the quicksand, ordering a strike on Iran's most important military leader and deploying thousands more troops. how to make sense of this Middle East policy. It actually gets more confusing. Around the same time that he was urgently withdrawing American troops from what he called this long blood-stained sand, Trump sent 3,000 additional troops to Saudi Arabia.
Oh, God.
When asked why, he answered that the Saudis were paying good money for this deployment. And just a few weeks after announcing the Syria withdrawal, he reversed himself and left some troops in the north for one reason.
We want to keep the oil.
All clear now? After the killing last week of Qasem Soleimani, Trump warned that were Iran to attack any Americans or American assets, he would retaliate very fast and very hard. And yet, after Iran did attack 2 Iraqi bases housing American troops, Trump essentially did nothing.
Iran appears to be standing down.
Now, I'm glad Trump chose to de-escalate, but that doesn't change the fact that he reversed himself yet again. You see, the problem with Trump's foreign policy is not any specific action. The killing of Soleimani could be justified as a way to respond to Iranian provocations. But this move, like so much of Trump's foreign policy, was impulsive, reckless, unplanned, and inconsistent. And as usual, the chief impact is chaos and confusion.
I am the chosen one.
To bring chaos and confusion to the world. That's what he is. I mean, you know, this is unbelievable. Make no mistake. This was all a result of Donald Trump pulling out of the JCPOA on May 8th, 2018. That is the day he tore up the Iran nuclear deal. But only America tore up the Iran nuclear deal. The rest of the world is still part of the Iranian nuclear deal. The Iran nuclear deal verifiably cut off any path Iran had to a nuclear weapon. International inspectors were on the ground. They were confirming compliance. Our intelligence agencies were confirming compliance. And this moron who hates everything Obama, you know, this guy who just went off about, you know, how racist he really is when he tweets out people wearing hijabs because, you know, to try and win hearts and minds in Iran is just so sick. But he put Pelosi and Schumer in head covers so that he could trash Muslim garb while he's out there saying in Farsi, overthrow your government. We got you. There it is. Look at that. I mean, what is wrong with this? Is who he is. It's what he did to Obama. Okay. Obama is a secret Kenyan Muslim. You won't believe what they're finding. And people bought into that lie and the racism. And there are people who voted for him because of this racism. They love this kind of racism. This kind of thing makes us less safe, not more safe. It is the opposite of what he says. He's going to get a better deal. We have no deal. He's going to get a better deal. We're literally in defense mode. We're in force protection mode. Oh, nobody was harmed. Nobody was harmed. You want to see what happened to the people on the base there? Here's an Army sergeant. Richard Engel went to the base. Okay? These guys got a warning about incoming from the Iraqis because this is an Iraqi base. But we have 1,500 people, American soldiers, on this Iraqi base. So the Iranians literally told the Iraqis incoming, and the Iraqis were able to tell our guys to go to a bunker. So while Fox News is saying, oh, I'm sure, you know, the Iranian mullahs were all in bunkers, we were the ones in the bunkers.
The missile came in here.
Correct.
And then just what? The fire just went all through here?
The blast knocked everything down, and the fire just came after and burned it all up.
This is the base that Iran targeted for retaliation after we killed Soleimani.
We heard the sounds first, and then the shockwave just like drove like even through these T-walls all the way down, and it just kind of punches you in the heart.
So there were 30 people there in this block, and they escaped.
The Iranians have said they didn't mean to kill anyone. This was just about sending a message.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think they're liars. But, I mean, I don't know the accuracy of that particular missile, but it definitely feels a little bit more personal than that.
And Trump's like, no problem. Nobody got hurt. Everybody's fine. I'm not going to, I just, you know, whatever. The man has absolutely no foreign policy.
Donald Trump does not have a foreign policy.
Hello.
He has a series of impulses: isolationism, unilateralism, bellicosity, some of them completely contradictory. One might surge at any particular moment, triggered usually by Trump's sense that he might look weak or foolish. They're often unleashed without any consultation, and then his yes men line up to defend him, supporting the president's every move with North Korean-style enthusiasm, no matter how incoherent. The United States has made mistakes in foreign policy, but over the past several decades, it has by and large had a carefully thought-through process of decision-making involving consultation with allies, and has tried to maintain consistency and coherence in its policy. That hard-won reputation is now being squandered in arena after arena around the globe.
Great. America first? No, America alone. Alone, isolated.